announcement, we are open to have private sessions. I am opening new dates on my schedule. We have a brand new automated booking system. No more long waits for confirming the booking. That's right, everyone. Automated booking system is here. Go to andrewbartzis.com and look forward to seeing you in a private session.
The Galactic Historian team is coming to you this October 26th through the 29th for a 4-day U.S. event set in the picturesque Willamette Valley, a place known for its healing potential, nestled in the heart of beautiful wine country.
Hello, I'm Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. Join me and our incredible team of spiritual guides for an unforgettable experience at the Living the Mystical Life Daily 3 Conference and the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat.
Hello, I'm Laura Massey of Two Feathers Medicine. This event is a unique opportunity to connect deeply with yourself and a like-minded community as we embark on a journey of sacred self-mastery and living our mystical lives daily.
Hello, I'm Dale Tobin from Symmetry of Health. At this event, you'll get the opportunity to sample our innovative combined healing therapy for yourself, including the rare Lucia light and all the new ambisonic therapy chamber, a 3D sound experience designed to guide you into a deep state of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Hello, I'm Amy Kruzik from Universal Citizen Media. We're excited to bring you in-person presentations, live demonstrations, and immersive group healing experiences that will elevate your spiritual practice.
Day 1 and 2 will feature the highly anticipated Living the Mystical Life Daily number 3 conference, discovering new teachings, guided meditations, and captivating presentations by myself and our incredible team.
And days 3 and 4 will take you on a mystical journey without use of drugs or hallucinogens at the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat. Immerse yourself in guided healing journeys and a multidimensional sound experience.
Together, we'll dive deep into healing and self-discovery, utilizing state-of-the-art technologies and ancient wisdom.
And with the Manifest package, early bird tickets are available until July 31st, 2024 for just $2,000. Secure your spot today and enjoy exclusive bonus offers and additional perks.
Don't miss this incredible opportunity for growth and healing.
And meet us in person in the beautiful Willamette Valley.
And elevate your spiritual practice with all new teachings from the Galactic Historian team.
Join us in Oregon on October 26th through the 29th, 2024. Reserve your spot today and embark on a journey of transformation, connection, and mystical exploration.
we're live.
Welcome, everyone, to an Impaired Internet Day, as we are live on Adventures into Reality. Today is a live call-in show. We have duct taped and super glued the show together the best we could. We will see if we can manage a connection. I guess this is the big storm that rolled through here. The leftovers of Hurricane Beryl have affected millions of people's internets, and they're trying to get stuff to come back online. With that said, Joel, let's see, who do we have as our first caller?
No one at the moment. Looks like someone stepped out. If you're there, we're live now if you want to call back in.
I highly encourage anyone that wants to have a conversation with me, a reading, or whatever it is that you want to do. We do these shows to connect to the everyday you.
Okay, all right. We've got Dave in. Dave, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Let me turn this music off. Can you hear Dave, Andrew?
Say something.
Hey, Andrew.
I can barely. Hey, Dave, how's it going? I can barely hear you. You turn them up a little more.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect. I can hear you now. What's going on with you, Dave?
Oh, just making dinner. Got home from work and that.
What are you making?
I got some soup, some bok choy, and some vegetable dumplings. So kind of
There
a
you
one
go.
pot.
What's going on with your life? Last time we talked about you getting your retirement plan and figuring out what you were going to do with that.
I'm moving in that direction, working on teaching people at work to do what I do. And looking at the healing stuff with sound and that is what I'm thinking. And I've gotten books, organite, and other stuff to get my mind there.
Yeah, gotta realize that you're a genius. That's 80% of you is giving yourself away to work, and as you make that transition to not giving 80% of your genius away to something that's not part of your greater passion and part of what retirement means, that you get to reinvest that passion into the things you've studied for decades.
Right. One of the things that's been helping me now is I listen to Bashar, and what he talks about is finding that highest joy and everything.
Same thing I say, it's just different words.
Right.
Same thing I say, just different words. Bashar and I have very similar concepts. He goes about one way of describing it, and sometimes I go in a different direction to describe it. And we need many people to describe it from all different directions for people to get it.
Unlimited point of view, like you've always said.
That's right.
And I appreciate that because I can see it, in those dimensions now. But one thing that's bothering me that I'd like to talk about, I've been into pattern recognition, geography, history, and that. And you talked about, it being a Three Stooges show. Is that what we're seeing now with, Biden?
No, we're seeing Three Stooges and Benny Hill had a child. Okay? And they're full of cocaine, like as much as Bill Murray was in the 70s. Mountains of cocaine to the Three Stooges and the Benny Hill Kid.
And drinking a pint in a second.
Yeah, a pint in a second and an 8 ball an hour.
Because I look at it, and I always had, I kind of grew up in that, I guess nationalist programming. I was born on the 4th of July. I believe we were the best, and now I look out there and I say, man, our tax dollars are fucking up the world in a lot of ways.
Well, we're supplying, giving war around the world. I mean, the CIA topples, 4 governments a month on average.
And you look back, and they toppled ours back in the '60s.
Yeah.
And
Here's
they've
where you
covered
have
it up.
the globalist agenda that's run by the oligarchs manipulating the world agenda and the globalists from behind. Because the globalists, the majority of them are in on the bigger plan. It's those that are working with the true high-level oligarchs that have the original plan that they put down to upper management and middle management, and they have, every generation they have to have new management. And you know how the power, the transfer of wealth goes from one generation that makes their money, the second generation loses half of it, the third generation has nothing. Well, the same thing comes to leadership, globalist leadership. They don't have effective leadership because the global corruption to create the globalist agenda run by the oligarchs is so bad that even their own projects can't go without the corruption affecting them.
So how do we keep positive, and do you just laugh at it? Or, like here where I live,
First thing
they
first
passed.
is you have to lose the attachment to your patriot programming. I have a patriot programming. I want to see my country and my fellow man do good, but I also want the Canadians, the Mexicans, the Japanese, the Indians, the Chinese. I want everyone to have that. But I know that that's not a realistic view. That's holding on to opium and sucking on the opium pipe. So all they can do is for my immediate friends and family and hold the generations of energy for my immediate family. And those that are out just outside of my immediate family, and then all the listeners, you're just one step out of that, and to show you how to live a life as part of the journey where you're not attached to the drivings of the Patriot program. You're not attached to the drivings of ancestral resolutions. You're choosing what resolutions you want. You're exercising that free will. And here in the United States, we have more free will than any other country out there. And they're trying to do the best that they could to disempower that you have free will. It's why they use indebted servitude the way they do. Indebted to the job, indebted to the money, indebted to the debt, which creates a spiritual depression. And working on unattachment, and not the Buddhist ways of zero attachment, it's a neutrality to it, where the observation of it is still information, and you have wisdom about it, but you're not attached to outcomes that are being forced down your throat.
Right. I've kept that, kind of the ideal that I always had was, in Jefferson's words that, all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. That's transcendent. And that's what, the spirit that I want to spread to the Canadians and the Guatemalans and the others around the world.
They're doing it on their own. They're doing it on their own. And we have to let them do it on their own.
Right. And,
because if we don't let them do it on their own, we're stepping on their agenda. And right now, that's all we're doing is stepping on the free will of thousands of other countries. But that's the nature of the first evolution system that we're in.
Will it continue, or is this a breaking point for that?
This is a breaking point. You're seeing the media has, like this whole Joe Biden thing. The media has been telling us for 3 years that Joe Biden's fine, and now they're trying to convert and say we never said this stuff. Everybody's seeing through it. Their ratings have sunk through the roof. They're even stopped talking about Trump because they realize they're getting ratings about Biden. Okay? And the globalists realize this, that they already knew that the fix has been in for this next election, and that's why they're doing everything. But they're reaching a point, everything they do is making it worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay? And the fact that Joe doesn't want to step out, it's just proof of how corrupt the system is from within.
Yeah, because
And yes, people are losing faith, but everybody wants to know, when is it going to happen? It's like a drug addict or an alcoholic. When do you hit rock bottom? Because everybody's rock bottom is different. What's it going to take for the CNN watcher, who's a full left-wing liberal that believes every word the news tells them without question? What's their rock bottom? When do they go, what? How can I continue to listen to this? Which is vastly different than somebody who's a Fox News listener who has already reached their rock bottom when it comes to that side of the media, but they're also being taken by the right side of the media. There's no difference. We don't have a two-party system. We have a uniparty system run by the oligarchs both sides. And until individual factions see, which is why what we're about to see at the two conventions here. The Republican convention will showcase some of it, but the Democratic convention, it'll be right out in the front, and we're going to see another ratchet down of the belief in them. But the hardcore zealots, how do you break a zealot's mind? You don't. They have to break it on their own.
And they completely block out RFK. RFK is the voice of
because if he was allowed on the ballot or allowed in the primaries, Biden would have lost him. Biden did
he's had some stuff, and there's some evidence that he's outpolling Trump too.
Sure, but don't believe the polls. Okay, all the polls presented by all the individual news agencies are designed for their audience to be listened to. Okay, do you think we're going to have a fair election?
Well, you won't let RFK in, so no. They just made it.
It doesn't matter. Do you think there's going to be a fair election?
I question when the last time we had one was.
Back in the 80s.
You had the hanging chads. Oh, wait. Mm-hmm. We don't know.
The 80s was the last time what was it? When Reagan won the sweep over Mondale was the last time there was a free election.
It's 84.
Yep. That's the last time you had. Everything after that's been an engineered election. We had engineered through social engineering and political engineering to news agencies or full outright ballot fixing. And there's been full outright ballot fixing on the Senate races and congressional races since the 70s. Ballot stuffing is an ancient technique. Okay?
Vote early, vote often.
Vote early, vote 10 times. Okay? Vote under 10 names.
Well, it could, go back to 1960 because they said Daley, stuffed the box for Kennedy.
Yep.
In Chicago. And that, but
we're about to have another Chicago moment.
Where are the conventions this year?
The Democratic convention's in Chicago this year. But if they've now made it a fully digital convention, it's no longer an in-person because they're afraid of the left-wing liberals, pro-Palestine people showing up, or anybody protesting a narrative they don't want at all. That is the level of information lockdown that they're doing. And the fact that they're still pushing Biden through all of this stuff, that means they're trying to ramrod this election through while they're doing the lawfare against Trump, because they have an understanding whoever wins this next election will clear out some of the swamp. Okay? You won't kill all the swamp creatures, but some of the legendary names will be taken down, and new swamp creatures will be generated.
But will the puppet masters change?
Okay, think about it this way. You know the every country has a population growth or minus. The swamp has been on a population growth for a long time. Now it's about to go into a population minus, and not from genocide, just from the fact they will not be able to generate as many corrupt motherfuckers as they've done before.
Okay?
Yeah, you can look at the landscape of Northern Virginia over the
Right.
past 50 years.
And see the change. Exactly. So you just have to learn to let go, be unattached to it, still observe it and know what it's saying to you, and understand, the first part is controlling the impulses of the internal patriot in you to not take zealot actions or martyrdom actions or actions that, put you into suffrage.
Yeah, I'm more of the cynic now.
It's okay.
What?
But the cynic inside you can be very destructive if you let it go out of control.
Yeah, it's more a comedic cynic.
Still, self-deprecation when out of control becomes pure self-deprecation for self-deprecation's sake. You may laugh at yourself as you're spiraling out of control.
Well, I was saying more, I'm laughing at the situation, and so I can detach
Yeah, this
myself.
could also be a seriousness to the situation which your laugh is overdoing, which is why we must be unattached even through our laughter and our variety of darkish humor. You laugh in the moment, but you don't laugh at it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. You don't be a tackling Harris, a tackling camel toe.
Just saying her name is funny.
I know. I've renamed her to Camel Toe a long time ago. A cackling camel toe. I mean, you have to admit that woman is way ahead. She's on her 9th complete redoing of her staff. 9th in 4 years. Her entire staff has been replaced 9 times. She just burns out people. And we're talking Washington swamp people she burns out.
Well, does she have the idea that if Biden wins, they knock him off, and she's the top dog?
She is. She is the person that gets the $280 million war chest. It can't go to anyone else. So anyone else that comes in will not get the war chest unless Harris is the front runner. And, as it is right now, if Biden resigns and she takes over, that gives her 4 months to look presidential or 3 months to look presidential. Okay? But she hasn't been running the country. The war hawks and the neocons, of the policy planning are running the country. Jill Biden is just a puppet master controller, but she's still fed all the information. Everything that happens in the globalist stage has been pre-planned for half a decade.
You probably go back to Cheney and Rumsfeld in the Nixon White House.
Yes,
look how long they,
yes,
and the neocons.
Reagan, his last 2 years, he was completely in non-competente. He didn't know his ass from the hole in the ground for his last 2 years. Okay? And Nancy ran through everything, but she wasn't pulling with Joe Biden. Okay? She was like, what is it that you need to know? And we'll come up with a consensus answer, or I know what he's going to say during those handful of rational moments he would have during a day. A lot of people don't know that the last 2 years of Reagan's presidency, he didn't know who he was, where he was. His dementia had reached such an advanced stage.
They had skits on Saturday Night Live about that.
Yeah. Yeah. When Saturday Night Live still was, attacking both sides of the political aisle.
Right.
That's where. Can they get? You're asking before. Can they get rid of Harris? The answer is no, they can't. And if they do, who do you replace it with? 2 white guys? Okay, 2 old white guys.
Big Mike.
Right. They've this whole Harris as the first black woman vice president is now coming back to bite them in their own, metaphorical ass. Okay? If they had vetted her a little bit better, they wouldn't have been in this situation. They had had somebody like, what was it, Tulsi Gabbard before she switched parties? Or switched, she realized, because once Hillary started attacking her, she realized how bad the swamp really was.
Oh, and Tulsi nailed camel toe in the
nailed her.
primary. Yeah, but under Reagan, that's where. Well, we can go back to Nixon, and
you can go back to FDR. He was his last 3 years of his presidency. He was bedridden, couldn't even stand up, and they covered that up too. Okay.
Oh, Woodrow Wilson
it's
too.
Not uncommon in American politics. It's just you have a different news outlets and different news consumptions than you did in the 60s or the 50s or the 70s and 80s. You have a fractured global news media system trying to present a unified narrative, but the narrative is perceived differently by everyone else. But that's also by design. If this side sees the narrative as this side sees the narrative as this, and that side sees the narrative as something completely different, those are 3 individual factions and camps that can be divided and conquered individually through information warfare. Because those sides are so polarized against each other, they won't work together. That's the beauty of the system they have against us right now. They've polarized ourselves against other options.
How many different ARs are used?
Right, to a person with stage 4 TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, can say, I shall not have hate in my heart. I shall follow the path of love. I will let go of hate and forgive him for who he is, and go through the journey of forgiveness and love and not path of hatred and become a Sith. Through the path of hate, I shall accept and expand. That's the dark Jedi, the Sith. That's the path they're forcing us into, the black and white path.
Is Hollow Earth playing a role in the surface?
They're the ones generating this whole long-term impregnated agenda.
Why did they want to perpetuate it? I thought everyone wanted to graduate.
Oh, come on, get out of that light worker bullshit. There are huge factions that don't want it to happen. For many different individuals and religious and consciousness reasons. They don't want to let go of power. They don't want to let go of their era of being the dominant in history. So on and so forth.
So what role is like solar maximum playing on the consciousness of
Say that again?
The surface? What role is, we're in solar maximum, we've got flares coming.
Back to individual responsibility. The individual have their response and reaction to the responsibility of the changes of energy, and through their perception and perspective, they'll generate something that, if they can remain unattached to the global narrative and find their own internal narrative, the solar maximum will be a great spiritual expansion for them. But for those that can't separate the global narrative and the attachments of focused hate and anger and separation from our natural state, they're going to have a tougher time going through that. More and more of their ancestral karmas are going to come forth. People have, more and more things happen to them at a time they don't want it to happen. Okay? Indebted servitude is beginning to really come back on the rise now. With the inflation, the banks, etc. More and more people are in more bigger debt now than ever than in the previous 10 years. We're literally about to have a repeat of the 2008 banking meltdown, mortgage meltdown. Not one big banker went to jail for that. and it's repeating. Okay?
Oh, what was the other one in '87 with the savings and loan? And you
Savings
had
and loans.
one of the
Once it was
bushes.
deregulated, yes.
Yeah. And then what was, I forget what the act was that allowed, banks to act as casinos,
I forgot
you know.
what that was, but that was so that the CIA could be in the big banking industry and fund major black projects. That's why that was created.
And that
The
under Reagan, the
military-industrial complex needed a $50 trillion investment. Okay, and where do you get $50 trillion? Well, you got to get it in investments over a period of 10, 12 years. What's BlackRock worth right now? I think 32 trillion. What's State Street? 18 trillion. So there's your money. Okay, they create
but with them owning each other.
Retirement goods from teachers and firefighters, etc., and they turned those into black project support companies.
Yeah, that's where Stephen Greer talks about disclosure and having the accounting on that, and the actual the $5,000 washers and $10,000 hammers.
Right.
Yeah.
That still goes on. It's never changed.
And,
hey, brother, I gotta let you go. I gotta move on to my next caller.
Perfect. Thank you, Andrew.
Good talking to you again.
Good talking. Bye.
All right, Joe, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right, we have Kim. Are you there?
Kim, are you there?
Oh, we lost her. Let's try Nicole.
Nicole, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Texas. I'm the caller from the end of May.
What did we talk about?
I'm on Venus. Aliens are saving me and putting me back together.
Okay, how are things going for you?
A lot better.
Like, what's the changes going on?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? You broke up.
What are the changes that are going on for you?
I listened to different music so I could bring myself out of the self-perpetuated anxiety that I had gotten myself into. I'm listening to, that was one of the first things I did.
Did you sell that? Did you get that trailer taken care of?
So I went down that path, and my tenant bought a house. She needs the trailer until she can move into her house. But that's fine because my finances are recovered, because it's two separate. Like, when I brought up the fact that I was scared about my finances and you proposed the solution of selling the travel trailer, I went down that path, and then I also liquefied my assets. So I have money now, and then I'm not going to sell the travel trailer as of right this second.
Okay. And that made a huge
So
difference.
I solved...
That made a huge difference in
Sorry.
anxiety.
Yeah, my anxiety is quote unquote gone. There's still tension. I still have energy work that I need to do, but it is definitely a transformation. I haven't had any more panic attacks. So I'm definitely improving in that way.
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about you doing rolfing, RLLING?
No.
All right, so that's something to invest into now that you've taken care of some of the anxiety. When you are in high anxiety and high stress, the whole body becomes acidic top to bottom, and you have these panic energies that are stored as electrical energy inside the fascia throughout your body, and oftentimes have what are called ghosty panic attacks, like a residue from a previous panic attack that'll come back. And even though you're in a good situation, and rolfing is one of the best ways to get all those negatives out of you. Now, don't get me wrong, rolfing is very painful. It's a very unique form of deep tissue massage that they do over a series of 10 times. Okay, so it's called a 10 series. I would highly recommend that you go and do a 10 series roll thing, and just understand there's a moment where the pain will turn to pleasure as you realize the drainage, that once they start draining these different pressure points, that this energy isn't weighting your internal organs down.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay. What's going on with the job?
Number one. Oh, it's good. I'm excelling. They should have me train everybody. But I'm sorry to cut you off or keep that answer short, but I have a question.
Sure.
I was wondering what level... I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead, shoot. Clear question.
What level mentorship from your mentorship program would I be in?
Well, everyone starts at level 1 and then goes to 2 and then the ongoing class, because there's a set of skill sets you learned in level 1, and at level 2 you're expanding those skill sets, and everything beyond the ongoing beyond that is how I individually tailor the specialized techniques for your individual growth with combined with the private sessions and the group review.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It would help you a lot. So level 1 gives you some very powerful teachings and an understanding of the strength of your voice and how to use it. Level 1 also comes with a Living the Mystical Life Daily 6-week course. So there's a whole bunch of material for you to get you started. 200 pages of material for you to work with.
Right. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if/when I would be in alignment to take the mentorship course. And what I mean by that is my mindset is, it's a good thing, but it sounds like a bad thing because of the tone of my voice. It sounds like it's bad, but it's actually a good thing. I have very limited options. Like I'm kind of gridlocked. Oh, can I talk about like my reality for a few minutes?
Sure, but just finish what you were saying about the gridlock you're in.
Basically, I'm gridlocked and I don't have many options. That's it. Like I'm kind of getting directed by so many higher beings that I don't really get a lot of choices. I don't get as much quote unquote free will as quote unquote other people in America have, which is fine. I'm not complaining, but it sounds like a bad thing because of my tone of voice. But I was hoping to spend a few minutes to explain my reality.
Go ahead.
Okay, so after our conversation, I swear one of your audience members overheard us and did like a prayer for me and helped like get me help. Like I swear after our conversation, a bird counselor, like an alien bird counselor, showed up in the Venus hospital and started like lecturing me and helping me manage the stressors of being in that environment. And I swear it was from one of your listeners that overheard us talking and did a prayer on my behalf to get me some extra help.
It was a collective of us.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. After that, I found myself, my consciousness getting split. And I'm sorry if I sound schizophrenic, but I found my consciousness being divided because what the counselor, the bird counselor, concluded after talking with me is that there's too much energy focusing on the surgeries. I need to be distracted so that way I can chill out.
100% agree.
Sorry.
And you have to see
right. So
an amoeba, they see it like an amoeba splitting. It will eventually come back together, but the surgery will remove the parts that were too challenging for you to stay unified during a moment.
Correct.
So the singularity becomes the duality. The singularity becomes the duality. That's the separation of the amoeba, but you're still a singular, bigger, giant perspective. You're going to lose nothing and gain a whole new point of view as it comes back to reality.
Yes. So 30% of my consciousness is in my human body right now. 30% is on Venus. Another 30% is on another planet where I'm in a boarding school where the teachers are plant humans. It's a planet where the top beings evolved. So on planet Earth, we have plants and humans being separate, but on their planet, they joined, and they're plant humans.
Just so you know, we are more DNA related to plants than any other bipedal species out there. So plants are a humongous part of humans' initial growth, and the fact that you identified yourself on a plant-based planet means like concepts like ayahuasca and medicines that are here are collective of other energies from other worlds who've come here to be of service, and you're being regenerated at that original plant DNA level. So
Right.
they're reconnecting you to the frequency of an intense nature connection, so that when you're returned here, that you have deep peace here, that you will no longer will be attacked the way you were, because you'll be able to draw
Right.
a deeper inner source. Yes.
Right. Thank you for letting me explain that. The last 10% of my consciousness is locked away in a secret mystery vault ?
We'll just
I don't
call
really
that-
have
we'll
access
just
to it.
I'll give you a definition. It is in witness protection program waiting to turn galactic states evidence.
Right. At the same time,
Process that a second.
I'm sorry.
Process that a second. That remaining part of you is in witness protection at a galactic level before it turns states evidence.
What am I not processing? You're telling me to process, but my brain isn't moving.
Yeah, you're that part of you that's there is going to testify against all the negatives on a galactic level. And there's all sorts of mafia groups that are trying to assassinate that part of you.
I know. I'm sorry. I kind of knew that, but I didn't know. You know what I mean?
That's why you had to be separated. Okay?
It's annoying. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
It's annoying because it's, it is what it is. Oh, can I make a comment on the previous caller's conversation?
Sure.
One of the reasons why some beings are trying to keep everyone enslaved is because there is a purpose of Earth that directly contradicts the other purpose for evolution and graduating the college that we're in, and that purpose is a hunting ground for dark predatory species. If more people graduate the school, then there's less food for the predators to hunt.
You're spot on. Spot on.
Yeah, I wanted him to hear that, just because I felt it or heard it or thought I felt it in his voice when he was like, "Don't we want to graduate?" It's like, well, the predators don't want us to go anywhere.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me talk about that.
You're welcome.
Let's see.
Not crazy.
I don't have a lot.
Figuring out a new reality. Okay.
It's difficult because I've been, aware of certain things for years, and there are very few people that I can talk to. So what ended up happening was I created accidentally harmful connections because they were the only ones that I knew about who could talk to me about these things. And what I'm hoping, okay, I apologize if my brain is going all over the place. I do flutter around. I'm having a hard time because a part of me still wants to save certain souls that I know are in captivity. And you already know I'm not supposed to save anybody else. Like, I'm literally instructed not to save another soul, period. Like, I'm instructed, it's like...
You can no longer be the rescuer, especially while you're in parts of you are in hospital and specialized protection. You will simply reverse the work if you go back out in the field and start doing field work again. You have to see yourself as a retired agent writing your memoirs and discovering a new life.
Yeah. There is someone in particular who I'm thinking of, and I don't know how to communicate it, not necessarily to you, but to the universe, right? Like, I kind of want to, I want to communicate something to someone where someone else can maybe help this person.
Similar to
So
the way the
do you?
bird showed up to you.
Okay, send a
Okay.
prayer.
No, this is the ceremonial work. Okay, you know, you're going to
Okay.
have to build your energies and refine your thoughts by journaling and writing about this person, their good qualities, their bad qualities, the qualities they need to work on, and develop an actual ceremony of raising your frequency without harming the healing you're going through, to pass this message on to the universe, who will figure out a way to bring it to them. And if they're ready to hear the
Okay, perfect.
universe, they'll hear. If not, there's nothing more you can do. The universe is putting
Okay, so I have to let him go.
Yeah, you got to let them go, but you can still keep up the prayer once a year. And that's just holding the candle up before you blow it out. Okay?
Thank you so much for your help.
I have many friends. I've had many friends that I've had to hold the candle up, and the wind is blowing tight from them hard, and then finally you have to blow the candle out and move on. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. My last question before I feel like I don't need to really take any more of your time today is, how can you sense if I'm in alignment to take your mentorship course this year? Because I'm not sensing a lot of free money. It's not a bad thing, it's just the reality. I'm not sensing that I have the freedom to do that right now.
I think for you it'll be a toss-up between the event or the mentorship. The mentorship will repeat in January and then repeat in the second week in March next year, and then August again. So you have other opportunities to restart it. It's really about, what are you going to get out of potentially meeting people who have similar energies to you, a community of people, all the teachings that come from it, and the different forms of healing you'll be able to take back to yourself and practice on yourself. That's what our event is about. So it's a matter of, are you ready to hunker down and begin a long-term daily practice? That will be the mentorship's dedication part, meaning you take the mentorship because it gives you all the information of how to make your daily practice really work for you. And at the event, you know, you're starting a more broader concept of what healing means to you, and you know, getting the concepts at a level and finding a community. I think
Okay.
those are the two things you should weigh. What's more important, finding a community and learning the teachings at the event and the 2-day retreat that comes after it with the Masonic healing, versus, all right, I'm ready to hunker down and begin my personal study journey on what prayer means to me, what faith means to me, what a daily practice does, and how it fortifies my reality. That's the way you got to put the teeter-totter or the balance of energies to it.
Well, when you put it that way, I'm definitely feeling that at this time, it's more important that I find connections that are healthy and won't accidentally poison me with their energy.
Yeah,
Either accidentally or on purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. Or incidentally. Sometimes both people come with positive energies, and then a solar flare hits, and they're both fucked up at a moment, and both negative shit pops up. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Sometimes it's not me or them.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say one more thing about my reality before I go?
Yes. I like this conversation a lot. You go further if you'd like.
Okay. So, oh my God, this is so cool. I know that in your teachings, you tell us, or your listeners, in our defenses, to break away all of the archons, right? So ironically, I love the archons, and I think you already know why. But I'm just going to keep talking. So the archons are investigating every single kidnapper that has ever kidnapped me, and they're compiling all the evidence. It's so interesting. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. I'm grateful. I'm like, yes, you go out there and fuck them up. Yes, please.
So I want to add something to
yeah.
you. So in 2017 going on 2018, I said this exact thing. Many of the Archons have turned and are now aiding the investigators, the galactic level investigators, and they've been going and impounding timelines. What I mean, impounding a timeline, it's like taking a car and impounding it. They've impounded the timelines so it can't affect other timelines, and then the negative light bodies on those worlds, and then recoalescing these negative light bodies and taking them to galactic courts. So many of the Archons are metaphorical bounty hunters working with a galactic FBI.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, fun fact:
Yeah.
my spiritual mentor was an Archon starseed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Archon's original purpose here was to just control who gets born in between the cycles of death, because they wanted to be the gatekeepers of what types of souls got in here. That was their original
they
purpose.
are. I think you know that. They're still doing that. Yeah.
No, they've ceded control to others, and they've changed the incarnation rules enough that a bigger percentage of other star seeds who were blocked out permanently can get in now. And these are the millennials, the zennials, the alphas that are coming in now.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me that. I didn't know. I really thought, like, how do I communicate it? I think you know where my head is going with this, but from what I understood, human beings or just people who are going through their awakening process can't get to other aliens before they get cleared by an Archon. The Archon has to, like, gatekeep, and that's what I perceived them as.
Only as spiritual contracts. The Archon's original purpose was to read the spiritual contracts and look for loopholes of forced evolution into them. Okay? They're no longer looking for the loopholes, meaning more and more souls can have loopholes that can get them out of karmic interactions and on the potential of communication, but they still have to have a grounded practice within themselves. They still have to learn a form of magic or shamanism or faith or something, and it's got to be instilled relatively at an early age as they go through the standards of life traumas. As they get older, they have a responsible form of communication that protects their core beliefs, that they just can't be influenced by a light being showing them their titties.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot. Okay? They do a booby
It
flap,
does.
and the next
It
thing
really
you know,
does.
they're subservient to that being.
Yeah. Okay. Can I ask you another question, or do you want to go?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. What's my next level of healing that I'm not thinking of? Because I'm already on track with, like, I need to increase my self-discipline and, like, go to the gym, and I'm doing all that. I'm eating better. I'm on track with that.
At some point, you have to rediscover sexuality for yourself, not necessarily with a partner. Okay, you need to rediscover what masturbation had a true love and light energy feelings, so that your body has those dopamine releases, and a lot more of your feminine that had been compressed out of your reality can become uncompressed and start to come back into you. And once again, show you how the power of feminine emotions can drive creativity.
Right. You said that to me last time. I've been working on it. I don't know if you can tell. I've been working on it.
Yes, you just haven't reached enough repetitive orgasms in the journey of healing where you're at right now for you to say, all right, what am I going to do with this creative energy while I'm not generating the orgasm? What are you going to
Okay, so you're communicating that I'm not ready for the next layer because I'm still on that layer. Okay.
You're right on the edge.
Okay.
And I think you need a plan, a solid plan.
Is it obvious to you that I've been making plans, and then because of how fast I'm healing and everything, my plans are no good within 24 hours because I've already evolved past it? I've evolved past it already.
That's natural with what you're going through because of what's happening on Venus in the psychic surgery hospitals. Okay, they're regenerating aspects of yourself that were deleted from history.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's frustrating because, I'll create a plan. Like, literally, I really did create plans, and then within 24 hours, I scrap it because I'm like, well, I'm already evolved past that.
Sure. This is why you have to look at the planning differently and guide your sexuality energy to open dopamine releases that give you 6 weeks worth of energy versus 1 day of energy.
Okay.
But you have to use the masturbation process for the generation of greater creative intent.
Oh, okay. Why did I not understand that? Why was that blocked from me? Like, why am I so dumb sometimes? Like, I don't understand.
It's blocked for many people because, unfortunately, people use masturbation for other generations of love energy because they've lost on how to love themselves. And a lot of times they fall in love with these images in their mind they're generating versus the love for the self.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Let me ask you another question. You said work was going fine. You're reaching a balance point where the finances are much better for you. You know, what do you see as off time for yourself? How many days a week are you working now, and what are you doing with your off time? Like off, not doing spiritual work, just generating fun and happiness.
I go to the gym after work. My path with physicality is long distance running, stretching, and yoga. Those are my that's what I have to do. Sorry, go ahead.
Those aren't fun things. Those are regenerative things you do as part of the journey of maintaining yourself. What I'm referring to is when you're clocked out of workout, you're clocked out of work, you're at home, what are you doing to generate a smile? What hobbies can you have? What things can you do that can help regenerate the human in you who still has to live in this world and have source joy from it?
I think you already know I'm quote unquote restricted, and not in a bad way. It sounds bad, but like it is what it is. It's like I'm forced to be creative with my fun. Like I don't quote unquote have money to just spend. I can't. It's like one of the universe's requirements.
You don't need to turn on stand-up comedy twice a week and say, all right, I'm clocking out for 2 hours from this reality, and I'm going to laugh at the rush of comedy. Okay?
You did tell me that before. I tried it, and I don't find it funny.
Yes, because you've got a serious stick up your ass that's so big it's now a stump. You're taking the reality too seriously.
It's because... So I found some YouTube channels that I like to watch, so I watch those for sure.
Yeah, but that's
I definitely do watch.
Again, that's passive entertainment. It's not something that's generating core belly laughs or core regenerative energies like a hobby, okay, like artwork, clay work, something that regenerates you because at the end you finish something, whether it's two stick figures, fighting each other versus a nicely painted, watercolor rose that you put some mental effort into, and at the end of it, you're proud of the work you've done.
I think what I've been doing, which might be a bad thing, but what I've been doing is designing my life. So I would think about.
This is still separate.
No,
this is literally.
I know that you're getting at a separate thing.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to answer like what I've been doing. What I've been doing is using whatever lack in my life and then generating creativity within that, whether it's shopping or finding a deal or negotiating a price down on something. That's what I've been doing.
And what I'm saying
but what can I do? Right.
That's not working for you. It's not activating the dopamine release of a disconnected from the serious state of perception and generating the human connection to this world that was the original reason you were meant to be born here, is to discover the joy and happiness in human in the society.
Well, to be frank, I really don't know.
Try artwork. Just go to the library and see if you can find a book that teaches you how to do character sketching. If you don't like doing that, move on to something else. Do arts and crafts. Eventually, you're going to find something that tickles your fancy. If you've got all this rare, unique creative energy, invest into art. All right, this week I need to do arts and craft projects. What am I going to try this week? And next week is something completely new, which allows the randomness uniqueness of your creation you're going through. That's fine too. If it's not arts and crafts, it's, be something else. Figure something that at the end of the journey you've manifested as something to be proud of.
Right. That's going to be hard for me to catch on to. Like, that's going to be harder than the sexuality thing. Because you said that the sexuality was going to be hard. I feel like this is going to be even harder for me.
Only because the serious stick is a stump and not a stick anymore.
Nuh-uh. It's because I've had to fight for everything. It's because I've had to fight.
Brother and sister, are you?
But that's what I'm being communicative. I just know how I got here. Like, I know that it's not just a stick up my butt. I know that it's from repetitive trauma, repetitive fights.
Sure.
I mean, literal astral battles, literal like exorcisms. Like, not that I've been exorcised. I've exorcised other people, bro. Like, that's hard. Like, I've just done so much
on a regular
heavy.
basis. I'm quite aware of that.
I've done so much
regularly with clients all the time. Okay, that's why hobbies and things that allows me to disconnect 3-4 hours a week and then come back to my serious reality with a whole new regenerated core, because I disconnected with intent and said, what am I doing this week? Well, that's my fun thing to do selfishly for me.
Oh, well, I have good news. Okay, you'll be proud of me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you'll be proud of me for this. I took myself to the movies on July 4th, and I just watched a movie and ate food, and I was in the movie. I sat in the front, like I was in it.
Good job. Great job. Okay?
See?
Great job.
I did it once.
That's something you can do that clocks out. There you go.
Okay.
If you're lucky, you get a good movie. Okay? Deadpool 3
I am
comes
very
out.
lucky, honestly.
Okay?
Okay.
There you go. You've got
I think I'm done.
Ready.
I think I'm good.
Okay? Movie going. Great thing.
Yeah, I can do this. And then I hung out with friends at work, coworkers. We went bowling.
Look at you
and
grow.
I wanted air hockey eventually. So there you go.
Look at you grow. You figured it out. Okay?
Okay. But no, that is going to be harder for me because it's good. I think you already know it's going to be hard for me to put effort into maintaining it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to stumble upon it on the 4th of July, but it's another thing to like make it a priority.
Sure, that's the part of human growth, is maintaining new forms of balance, as the old forms of balance don't have the same return on investment.
Yeah, especially because that panic part of me is going to be arguing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The role thing will help get rid of that background panicky energy that's stuck in the body. It'll be one of the best sets of money you spend on yourself.
I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah. It'll really help.
Okay. Alrighty.
Well, darling,
is it okay if I...
Great call, talking to you again. Great hearing the progress you're going through. I know, and as a caller, everyone's a teacher to everyone out there, and you've helped a lot of people go through their individual challenges.
Good. Can I call again in a few months?
Yeah. Call again. Tell us how things are going.
Okay, sounds good. Bye-bye.
All right, Dog, take it easy.
Bye.
All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right, let's see if Kim, are you there?
Yes.
Kim, are you there? Hey, where are you calling from?
Yeah. New Jersey. I need a second for my heart to calm down.
Okay. It's a little hard to hear you. Come closer to the phone.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What did you want to talk about today?
My dreams. Why I cannot see my son.
Say that again.
Hello?
Hello? Can you say that again?
I can't see. Yes, I'm not able to see my son who passed in my dreams. I saw him once, but it went into a psychic attack. Something came to me that appeared to be my son, and when it touched me, it turned into something horrible, and then I was paralyzed.
Uh-huh. When did that happen?
And a couple years ago. But I can't dream of my son for some reason.
Did it only happen once?
It happened
more than once?
It happened once.
All right. So what that was is you were in, okay. Hold on. What that was is you were in a state of mourning that was not resolved yet. And when people don't resolve mourning and they let it go on and on and on, it opens you up to attack from other entities who want to feed off of your misery.
So now I'm scared if I do see him, how am I sure it's not going to be another attack? Is that what's blocking me?
That means that the entity that attacked you has won, and have broken faith. And now it's a time to regenerate your faith and learn techniques to close off the holes in your aura, determine where you are in the mourning process, and then reinitiate the connection to faith and spirit, because right now you're talking from fear, and fear has created a disconnection from spirit.
Oh my goodness. Another dream, I woke up and I was clicking with my tongue stuck in the top of the roof of my mouth, and I felt like I was speaking. But it was like clicks. Was I speaking a language?
Yeah, you were speaking an insectoid language.
That's what it sounded like to my ears.
Yeah. Did that happen just once, or did it happen more than once?
Once that I woke myself up and doing it, to unstick my tongue from the roof of my mouth.
Did that clicking energy, did it happen just one time, or did it happen more than once?
Once that I can recall.
Okay, so what that was part of your DNA was going through an energetic activation, and it was a window of opportunity for you to explore that energy. But that's not something you had the strength, the faith inside you to go to the next level of discovery with it.
Okay, I wasn't scared at all of it.
Yeah, but it didn't motivate you to do something with it.
Okay, I got it.
But no opportunity is lost here. You can try to recreate that energy, recreate that clicking. The key is you just got to break the sense of fear of I'm doing it wrong, or something negative is going to attack me. That's why having a daily practice of generating light inside yourself is so important. So when you want to have these explorative moments with light language, with faith and prayer and connectivity to the other realms, you have a sense of security and safety from the types of practices you've put into yourself as a committed dedication, so that these things mean something to you.
Okay. I did try to recreate it, but it just didn't sound the same at all.
You were just judging it. It wasn't perfect enough. It wasn't good enough.
Right. I'm a very controlling person. I'm working on that.
A part of learning this is you got to see yourself as the first grader again. You don't know the grammar, you don't know the pronunciation, you don't know the spelling, and you want to be, college level with the material instantly. You're making brand new neural pathways, and you've got to give it the first grade time, the second grade time, the fifth grade time, the ninth grade time, and you needed time to process and create ongoing neural pathways that can give you more complex actions with it, like learning a language.
May I ask which part of the DNA insect, like you said, which kind it was?
Which part of your DNA was activated?
Yes.
It's from your mother's side. So your mother's side has given a gift of, we'll just call it spirit communication. I don't want to call it mediumship because it isn't. It's more of a form of ancestral communication. Those that have passed on and chosen not to come back into the bodies are ancestors. So it's something that's been passed on from your mother's side, going back about 10 generations, and that's what was activated in you. And it's been activated in you since you were about 15, 16 years old. You just didn't know what to do with it, became afraid with it, ignored it. As you began to grow older and wanted to be normal, those didn't mean those passive energies that were influencing you to hear spirits whispers to no longer be whispers but standard words. You have kind of put on ignore, or just didn't allow it to make any part of your changes inside you. And now it's thumping at a louder voice at the older age that you're at. That means you need to put more time, effort, and energy to graduate first grade, second grade, third grade when it comes to communication with the ancestors.
May I ask what you would suggest my next step should be in
Prayer,
that?
healing the breakage of faith, and understanding that the fear journey that you're going through is going to be the greatest limitation for you. Forgiving yourself for being in fear, discovering how prayer can be a forgiveness and an opening energy, learning ritual and ceremony, discovering a daily practice that helps you fortify your energy so things can't just walk into your field and do whatever they want and walk out. You create a barrier that they can't cross through out of a conviction of faith.
Okay. May I ask about another
Sure.
dream?
Sure.
Another dream I had, I felt myself walking, kind of like breaking away, almost like a slug would leave a trail. And I remember saying to my sister behind me, "See, Lord, this is dying. It don't hurt. This is nothing. There's nothing to be scared of." Was that one of my pieces of my soul leaving or joining from another life?
No. That was another soul that had not been born into this world yet, that you were helping them understand the challenges of being human, but also the unlimitedness of being human. You were helping them decide who they were going to be born into. Part of your mother's lineage was passing on the wisdom. You would talk to the baby before a woman would get pregnant with a husband. You would counsel them before their sexual encounters so that they would bring the right baby into the time that the egg met the sperm. And what you were doing in that dreamy energy is counseling a soul to come into a body.
Is that why I saw my son before he was born?
Yes.
Standing behind
You would be considered a baby whisperer. Okay?
Oh, that is so interesting. That is amazing. May I ask one more so I don't take up too much time? My granddaughter is 5, and I swear she's 35. But when I look into her eyes, I swear she's seeing me, every part of me, inside and out. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me anything about her?
Well, first thing first is you are hypersensitive, over-vigilant. Okay. And I use this metaphor. You can hear the mouse, you can smell the mouse fart next door.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how over-tuned you are. You don't need to smell the mouse fart next door. You've got to learn to turn off the vigilance. And once you do, those eyes inside your daughter will be showing you something completely, your granddaughter will show you something completely different. Because she too has this ancestral communication energy. And she's trying to communicate to you through the astral world how to activate it with yourself so it's not harmful to you. You don't have to go through some of the more difficult challenges that you've gone before. She's a unique teacher spirit. But it's vitally important at the age that she's at that she gets to enjoy her childhood. She's going to be a unique soul. She is, but you don't want the life's traumas to affect her early. You need to keep her innocent as long as possible, but educated into the world and the street. You don't want her to have street ignorance.
Oh, she's a very strong person. She's strong-willed. She's definitely not a follower at all, and very sure of herself.
Yeah, but as she turns 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 and begins to go through puberty, all that's going to change, just like any kid's doubts their realities, they regain faith in it as part of the kids growing. And here's where your unique influence can keep her solid. Are you there? Did we lose her, Joel?
Looks like she's frozen, I think.
Okay.
I lost the last part of what you said.
I said as she begins to grow older.
There?
I'm there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, through puberty, okay. I heard that.
Okay.
Up to that.
Yeah, as she grows older, naturally children go through the states of doubt. And here's where your influence can be the greatest energies on her, helping her get through self-doubt and confidence of herself. All children go through that.
Yes, I remember.
Okay? Right, that'll be a great life lesson for if you can instill pure confidence in her at a young age, an unwavering confidence in her strength of herself and the choices she makes, while keeping her street educated and school educated.
Okay. I understand that.
That's the greatest gift you can give her as a young child, along with your good grandmother's love. She needs that too.
Right. Right. Oh, yes, we play. We have a great time together. We play for hours together.
Mm-hmm.
May I also ask, I have a connection with my old friend, I call it, a tree that's been in my yard for 20 plus years. For some reason, I have to call him my old friend, and I don't know why, but he's my old friend.
Well, trees are our ancestors in living form.
Right.
And you're an ancestral communicator, meaning it's a very old friend from many lifetimes in a row that's been your friend, and instead of coming in a human body, it came in as a tree.
Okay, that's interesting, because I just called my old friend, and that I can understand now why that is.
Sure. It's an energy you've lived hundreds of lifetimes with. And again, as I said, they chose not to be in a human body. They chose to be a tree this lifetime as part of this generation of awakening.
That is amazing.
All right, I got to move on to the next caller. Great company.
Yes.
I got to move on.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Darling, have a great day.
You.
All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right. Oh, we got RC. Are you there?
RC, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, what's going on with you, RC?
Oh, I've been trying this meditation and I need your guidance with it.
Okay.
When we were in Scotland, you did this, I think it was the bed that you did the heart meditation on me. Am I right? So anyways, I've been really focused trying to connect my heart and mind together. And I can feel my heart activated, and I can feel this energy around my head, but I don't know how to connect them, like how to.
Okay. So the answer to your question is in the statement you made. You don't know how. Meaning you're still in overactive brain, and you're not letting the heart and the brain work equally together to generate the concept. We as humans love to control our reality, and that's what our brain does very, very well. And this is a moment where you have to tell the brain to not overachieve. Be equal with the heart. Allow the heart to speak with the same volume as the brain. Let them be co-creators, true co-creators in the generations of feelings, thoughts, and emotions when you're in this meditation.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, all right, I understand. Yes, I do have a very active mind.
We all do. We all do. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the
Okay.
challenge of getting into the heart, is to slow the mind down of its micro manipulations and controls.
Okay. All right, some more practice.
Again, it's an ongoing practice, which you learn something new about yourself and something new about yourself. Here's a way to help jumpstart this idea. Bring your mind to your brain, the left lobe of the right lobe of your brain. Go down into your throat chakra, connect to your throat chakra. Go down back behind your heart, and then go into your heart through the thymus center, which is considered the high heart. So the brain will be blended with the heart. And if you work on that visual meditation during the heart meditation, see the brain, the left lobe and the lobe, going into the throat chakra, going into the thymus, and then blending with the heart, you will enter the super information highway of the brain and heart connected a little faster, have a little bit different sense of perception. Now, the heart meditation has you do this, but you're going to try doing it from the very beginning, holding this image of the brain inside the heart, going through the blending of union and communion.
Okay. All right. That sounds good, instead of the other way around, trying to take the heart into the brain. Maybe the other way would be less. Yeah. Okay.
Again, there's many ways to skin this inner communication cat. You've got to figure out what works for you long enough to generate the experience of, I did it. And then you'll realize there's many ways to do it. You just got to find the way that works for you first.
Yes. Yeah, to break the barrier.
Right, to break that initial barrier of, am I making this shit up, or fuck, this is real.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'll try that. Now, I have another question.
Sure, go ahead.
This new to me, light language has come true.
Uh-huh.
And I sometimes find myself, like when I drive, the other lady was talking about a tree. When I'm driving to work, I see all these trees, and then sometimes I'll just start speaking with them in this light language, almost like I'm telling them my story.
Yes.
And sometimes I know, like I'm writing in my journal, but instead of writing in my journal, I'm telling them. And sometimes I know what I'm saying, and sometimes I don't.
Okay. Do you know what kind of trees they are?
There's all different kinds of trees, but there's a few.
Well, maybe it's a good idea you go to that route when you're not going to work, and walk it and look at the trees and try to identify what they are. And if any of these trees have any seeds or anything, try to make a seedling out of them and bring it to your home garden and let it grow, and then replant it somewhere else, which will give you a more potent communication, because you're helping the tree to propagate. And yes, these trees are communicating to you as you're driving to work and going through that state. They're opening a form of energetic communication to you that is helping you grow. As for the light language, just like the other person, you still got to go through first grade, second grade, third grade. You got to learn conjugation. You got to learn the new language and build those new neural pathways that have a confidence behind them.
Yeah. Sometimes I know, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce something, or I just made that word up. And then other times it's easy.
Yeah, but sometimes making the word up is the journey of faith. Is it really making it up, or are you co-creating a light language word that is real?
Yeah. Something to contemplate on.
Yes, something to contemplate on.
Okay. My third question is, I have like 45 of them. No, just kidding. My third question is, last time I was doing healing on somebody, the whole like healing thing changed, my hands-on healing. Like instead of my hands being over them, where I tend to feel the heat in my hands and I know like that organ needs some work to be done. Now my hands were up in the air, almost like I was
So your
moving
hands
things around.
your hands are doing their own version of light language and changing the way energies move through the outer aura and inner aura in the meridians. My hands do the same thing. A lot of healers' hands do that. They have what appears to be a mind of their own, but in fact they're following a very broad structure to reintegrate the energy into the body.
Okay.
Okay, you
I
have a
thought
Lucia
that.
light. You have a Lucia light. Have you done energy work on a person while they're under the Lucia light?
No.
You need to incorporate that. It'll advance your healing 1,000-fold. It'll make you far more sensitive to how it changes and what your hands do. Okay?
Okay.
It would really benefit you. Remember? Yeah, really, really benefit you.
Okay. When I am using the Lucia light, sometimes I'm guided to put my hands up.
Yes, the light is alive. It is actually a co-creative, energetic light healing guide with you when you're using it in conjunction. That's what we do in our combined therapies. Yeah. It'll it really advance you really fast too. You want to tell people what your website is if they want to have a healing with you?
Sure. I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia, and my website is quietmind.us.
And anybody that wants to have a Lucia light session or healing session with her, go to her website.
And I do have a Facebook, quietmind.us, where Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, I do inspirational talks and card reading if anybody has a question.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, just so people know, RC's been a mentorship student, a long time person. She was on the Scotland tour with us, so I know her very well, and help coaching her create her business and expand into what she wants out of her next phase of life.
Yes. Can't wait for the next Scotland trip. But you're going to Oregon soon.
Yes, in October. We can see you there?
Okay. I'm hoping. I would like to. So that would be wonderful if I can.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, RC. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
Yes. Thanks. Bye.
All right, Joel, let's spin out the wheel of colors and see who is next.
All right, we've got Sean here. Can you hear us?
Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there?
Hey, Andrew, how you going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Australia.
Oh, it's that Sean. How's it going, Sean?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah. Oh, no, we haven't spoken before. I'm a different Sean. No, we haven't spoken before.
Oh, a different Sean. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Similar place.
That's all right. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about today?
Maybe a question about my cat. I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's quite sensitive and he maybe protects me. And just wondering if that's true.
Yes, cats can be our protectors very much. And they generally, your cat, or most pets, when you are in the fetus in your mother's womb, you plan who will be your pet, what level of guardianship that they will have with you, and co-creative energies.
Okay. Because sometimes I know when I get intrusive thoughts or something, I feel like there's maybe something negative in my house. I pick up on it and then I just look at my cat and I feel like he's trying to chase it away, whatever's in my house.
Or he's going, yo, bitch, let's do this together. Come on. I'm going to teach you how to play with your food. Because cats are predators and they love to go after negative energies. And sometimes they're asking you to help them.
Okay, thank you. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. The other question I had was, I had a dream maybe a few months ago about a volcano, and there was like lava coming down the volcano very slowly, but there was like electricity around the volcano. And it was a very odd dream because I don't know much about volcanoes. I didn't know there's electricity or lightning's a thing with volcanoes until I had this dream. And
when did you
I just
have
thought it
the
was
dream?
maybe 3 to 6 months ago, I'm gonna say.
So back in like January?
Maybe a bit, maybe February, March, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so March we were cooked with solar flares.
Okay.
And a lot of people had volcano dreams. Okay? So volcanoes are high sources of energetic expulsion from the Earth's core. And oftentimes electromagnetic effects will happen. There are many volcanoes that exist deep underground that have no surface eruption. And then there are volcanoes that are under the ocean and have a very minor surface eruption, except because of the weight of water that's on them. Then you have surface volcanoes that have the magma expulsion, the pyroclastic cloud, a massive electromagnetic burst with electricity that's going through them. And what you're seeing in that dream, something was trying to connect you to that electromagnetic burst, and for you to do something with that energy.
So what was I meant to do with that energy? I don't.
That's your creative human journey of interpreting Spirit's message.
Okay.
That part of free will is, if we get these dreams in the images, now what? Out of free will, well, maybe I need to draw a volcano, or I'll watch a bunch of videos about a volcano, and then go through the journey of, okay, now what? These are energetic expressions, and my dream world is saying, I have a volcanic energy with these electrical shocks. Maybe this energy is in me, and I need to direct it to a manifestation, be it a project. You know, let's say you want to build something, or you want to write something, or you want to do music. You're channeling the image of that volcano into the practice of doing.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think so. It's kind of like an energy boost if I'm being a bit
Think of it more of an upgrade.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you've reached level 2 instead of level 1. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. And so could I go visit maybe a dormant volcano area, maybe?
Say that again?
Could I go visit a volcano that's dormant, maybe? Would that be helpful?
That would be a good idea, just to feel the frequency and to get you out and say, all right, I'm now doing something with this vision. I want a next level, and I want level 3. Okay? Yes.
Yeah.
As long as it's not dangerous, you're good to go.
Yeah. If it's a dormant volcano, then that should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that. The other thought I had was that, obviously, like, I've done some of your revocations before. Was that if I was to print some and just drop them in people's letterbox, would you think that would be a good idea, or do you think that, because obviously it's your work, I don't want to do something that goes against what you do or don't want to do?
The revocations are meant to be practiced until you're ready to write your own. And I put them out there as a gift for everyone. And if you want to use my words, you can go ahead and use it. Just give me some reference as the original creator. All the ones that I put out publicly are meant for that. They're meant to be a seed for you to work with, grow with, and discover the language in your own way. Okay?
Yeah, I think what I was meaning, put down your website where you get them from on there, but was mainly
link back to it, or my name next to it. That's all I ask for any of the ones that I put out publicly. Yeah.
My thought was mainly to like introduce strangers to your work
Sure.
in the
People do it all the
streets.
time. Yeah, again,
Okay.
as I said, these are seeds for everyone to work with.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing that's been happening to me sometimes when I'm laying in bed, I can feel it feels like someone is like has their hands on my head, not in a aggressive way, but it's like as if they're like the hands are coming over to my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what that's all about.
That's your own energy going through a change, and it's trying to activate a form of self-love in you.
Okay.
Have you been beating yourself up when you were younger? Did you self-deprecate a lot?
I think I do. Yeah, I think I'm being maybe a bit harsh on myself recently.
Yeah. And that's an inner core energy trying to remind you, love yourself, brother, love yourself. And if you can engage that love yourself energy, when you feel those hands energy on you, you bring it into your body out of this act of love, and then you're going to get the next level of experience of what mastering self-love is.
Okay. Because I do feel like in those moments, I do have a bit of light language that comes through. And
sure,
like the other
those are all moments of expansion that make the self-love even stronger.
Okay.
So you got to see those moments when you feel that energy as a window of opportunity to add more love to your frequency out of conscious will and choice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so with the light language, it's odd because it happens. It can happen when I'm driving too. Is that normal for it to come through while I'm driving?
It's very common for light language to come out in driving. Driving is a very unique brain set where there's an innate safety factor. You don't want to kill yourself. And the brain actually functions in the gamma state if you find that you're not a road rager, etc. And in that gamma state, you have access to many psychic skills.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Okay, I love driving long distances and just letting my spirit go through the journey of roaming what's potential for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the other question I had was, I have this hobby at the moment where I collect like indoor plants, like some rare indoor plants.
Okay.
But then I don't know if it's becoming a bit of an obsession. I don't know. It's just odd. I don't know if there's a connection to the plant spirit world or.
Listen, people have been collecting plants since the dawn of collecting plants. Okay?
Yeah.
There's an herbalist in you as an ancient spirit who wants these connections around you. After a while, when you love these plants enough, they love you back and they become part of your greater energetic world. And if you find yourself surrounded by plants, this is where you got to next level it. All right, what do I have? Make a list of all the plants. What are some new plants that you can come in? What are ones that, bloom during the summer and, are inactive during the winter, so you always have a different variety of blooming things in your house?
Yeah, so we're meant to help each other on this journey. Yeah.
Sure, they're a community.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Don't see it as an obsession. See it as a spiritual hobby of self-practice. And that the taking care of those plants is part of your spiritual practice.
Yeah, I think that's where it started because I do athletics. My hobbies are quite physical, so I wanted to pick up a hobby that's non-physical and more relaxed. So
it's a great thing. Here's a suggestion for you: start a seed bank. Go online and find seeds that you can buy, and then put them in a little pouch around your neck and sleep with them for a couple of weeks. And put prayer energy into them on a regular basis. And then when those seeds go to grow and they actually pop, they have a core dreamy you inside it. They become powerful sentinels for you.
And
Yeah,
have a bank of seeds that you protect like a mother duck protecting their eggs. This is your bank of life, seeds that you're going to use.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I've heard you say something similar before. Yeah.
Yeah, then you can take seeds with you and randomly plant them in other places and spaces.
Yeah, I think that's something that I did during COVID. I would take some fruit seeds and try and plant them around in random places. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. So I need to do a bit more of that.
You got to see yourself with 2 green thumbs and 2 green big toes. You can grow anything anywhere. Okay?
Yeah. Andrew, do you have anything anything that I'm kind of feel drawn to the stars? Is there any connection to the stars or certain planets?
Oh yeah, you're a star seed, but you already know that. The key is, what are you going to do with this information? Okay?
I think that's where
I'm growth. Now what is important for you, where you actually process and have a deep understanding. All right, I am this. What can I do with it to benefit myself, those that I love, and those that I wish to give opportunities to love even more for their personal growth?
I think where I'm stuck with that, Andrew, is I feel like it's like worried what others might think in regards to maybe my starseed stuff.
Well, then that means you just have to have a longer time baking in the oven of your own creation and not worry about what others think or telling others what to see, hear, feel, or do.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of job do you do?
I own a factory with my family, so I work there, but then I'm also a support worker and a disability support worker.
So you have 2 jobs?
So I 3 jobs, but I don't like to do the same thing. The factory kind of gives me a break, is more a physical job, whereas the support work is more an emotional job. So I find the balance between the 2 works.
I get it. What kind of off time do you get?
I'm working a lot, so I don't get much at the moment because it's a family business.
Well, that's something you got to put creative energy into. Off time is very important for your growth.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
I do.
You got to remember how to be human, and like that other caller, go to the movies, have friends. You are meant to live in this world that has a community of others trying to figure out how to live in the world.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I do athletics, and I also I get some
those are all things to maintain you.
True.
You still have to have selfish moments that you're not guilty of.
True.
Okay?
I find it interesting working with some of the autistic clients that I have.
Because they're highly
psychic. I've picked this up already on some of them, especially the lower I guess the more higher support need clients are more psychic than the other ones. I figured they're using their psychic abilities so than the verbal. And I think what some of the past clients I've had is hard because their other support workers don't, I think, believe in psychic, don't understand that that's how we can be. So these non-verbal clients can't communicate effectively with the other support workers.
You have to be unattached to the other workers because that is their individual journey, and they're still doing their karmic work by being there, whether they're aware or not. And you also have to learn not to be overly attached to the children, and at the same time be open enough for the children you have helped for their love to come back into you. And on a regular basis, you open up a prayer frequency and say, all those children that I have helped, that are nonverbal, that I have loved, I open myself up for their love to help me grow with a greater perception of their world so I can learn to help others with love even more.
Yeah, no, that's sweet. I do try to go in the mindset what are they to teach me as well. I think they've
Well,
taught me
a
a lot
lot of
over the
them
years.
are psychic. A lot of those nonverbal autistic children are psychic warriors. Okay?
Mm.
And many of them are fighting too hard. And what you can do is remind them you don't have to fight all the time. There is a whole other world that you can invest in, even though you're nonverbal.
Mm.
Okay? Teach
Yeah,
them
because
how
that's
to be peaceful.
okay. Because that's especially this one client. That's what I picked up on him, was that he was protecting me in the spirit world when I worked there, and then I was
But
trying to
he's
help
also
him.
doing that to everyone that's around him. But that was
Yeah,
his job when he came in.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to say to me, Andrew, before we move on to the next caller? Or?
Yeah, there is. Just 1 second. What's your diet like?
I've been listening to quite a few years, and I maybe 3 years ago I was like vegetarian, but now I've gone back to eating meat because I got a bit sick. Had low iron, so it's been a few years, but I think my diet's been a bit. I've been eating more protein now, so that's good. Yeah, I've been doing some cooking recently. Yeah.
Do you like to cook?
I do. I've been getting. I don't know if you have it over there, where you get the meals that are like they get all the ingredients and the recipes, and then you just have to cook
Yeah,
it. So I've been getting that.
I get that. Here's a suggestion for you, and it's going to be one of those things you have to carve out time with. Is maybe find a culinary school that's local to you, and invest some time in it. Not to become a professional chef, but just to learn the techniques of cooking, and invest. Just like the plants, there's an herbalist in you, and herbs are powerful alchemical agents when put into foods. So learning what the variety of magical spices that this world has to offer, flavorings and cooking styles, and allow food to be a new level of magical alchemy for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
The culinary schools are everywhere, and like I said, you're not investing to become a chef. You're investing it for the passion of it and the magic that it can create. Just through cooking a meal, even though all your meals come pre-assembled, that's fine, or you just got to put them together. But there's a whole different level of creation you can give yourself once a week when you decide to, all right, I'm going to try something new that I've never done before. I'm going to explore these spices now, and I'm going to share them with friends and family.
Yeah. It's a creative element of the cooking that I need to expand on.
It's not just a creative element; it's connecting to the plant side of you.
Yes.
It is maybe you need an herb garden, a very advanced herb garden, where you have the Indian spices in an herb garden as well as the European and American spices. You have a huge variety of in your spice garden.
Yeah, because this is interesting because we have a community garden nearby, and I've been like trying to look at all the different herbs, and obviously it's quite multicultural area, so people plant their herbs that aren't quite unusual there too. Yeah. Okay. So
you can have your own little special magical herb garden at your house.
Yeah. Okay.
One that has your advanced prayers and your spiritual energies in it that becomes part of your magical food creation.
Yeah, and then that would transpire into, I guess, having better digestion because you've got that extra.
Sure, because you will then have learned what all the herbs do because you're going to read about them. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, exactly. Because the wisdom just generates new creativity. All right, this and this herb does this and this for the gut. All right, let me cook something and see what it does. Man, it gave me the shits. Okay.
Well, I do have a friend that comes over, and I have put too much cumin in the soup, and I've been fine having it, but it actually has given my friend the shits once before.
So have I. Okay. And then you're going to have one where it doesn't give them the shits, and they rave about it for the next 2 months. Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, you give me lots of things to work on, so I appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye.
All right, Joe. Let's call it an end to the show. It was great. We got through all our technical issues that we did get disconnected once. Yay! All right, everybody. We will be here tomorrow for our World of Warcraft team stream. Also, we have a live event planned in October. I believe the QR code is in the top left corner. You go to our website, andrewbartzis.com, go to the shop, and you will find out all the information about our event we're having. We are doing the early bird special where you get the event and the retreat all for one price, and that goes on until the end of July, the early bird special. There are payment plans that are set up, so you'll be able to have that best possible opportunity to come joining us in McMinnville, Oregon for our Living the Mystical Life Daily 3 and our No Drug Mystical Experience event.